Hello and welcome to Embracing Extraordinary podcast. I'm Deirdre.
And I'm Jody, and we're here to create a space for you to explore, expand, and embrace that extraordinary exists, is possible, and how extraordinary you truly are.
To hug, hold, accept, and embrace it to create your most extraordinary life.
Welcome back to Embracing Extraordinary podcast. Today, we're talking about the beautiful magic of the what if shift, which is a concept that we've been working on, and we would really love to share it with you because we think that it's a really gorgeous game changer. That is something simple that you can implement into everyday life that can really create some really powerful shifts. At Embrace Your Extraordinary, we believe that transformation isn't just about the massive leaps. It begins with moments of small, intentional, energetic shifts that expand your consciousness and unlock greater and more unlimited levels of possibility. Often they can be subtle, but they're powerful shifts that can open new pathways and reveal hidden possibilities and solutions and transform the way you approach your success, leadership, and life. This isn't just something that we teach, it's something that we live. And often that shift is much closer than you think. So I'm going to throw it over to Dee and welcome this gorgeous soul properly to this space. Hello, Dee. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Jodes. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, honeys. So we've been exploring the magic of what if, and we're calling it the magic of the what if shift. And you've experienced this in your life recently in a really massive and powerful way. So over to you, honey, if you wouldn't mind just sharing how this played out in your life and what you really received from it.
Thanks, Jody. Thank you. As you know, I've spoken about this a little bit lately, that I absolutely love doing puzzles. And recently I had chosen one that was probably a little bit more difficult than what I would normally do. And the reason I chose a more difficult one was because I thought that Jesse would be at home to help me because he's very good and he loves puzzles as well. So it's a great experience for both of us to share together. But little did I know that he was actually going to move to Sydney. So I've been left with the puzzle to do on my own. And as I sat there one night trying to fit pieces together, I was finding it really challenging and frustration started to creep in. And what happened then was that my inner dialogue started to turn against me, and it started that inner chatter, this is way too hard. You can't do this. Why did I choose one that's so complicated? You're no good at puzzles. And it just kept going on and on. And, I'm sure we can all relate to this voice. And it's that voice that shows up for us, whether it's in business, leadership, in life. But it's that voice that convinces us that something is beyond us. And that's what was happening for me. But in that moment, I actually caught it. And instead of giving up, I actually asked myself a completely different question. And that question was, what if I can actually do this? What if I'm actually good at puzzles? And what I found was instantly my energy started to shift. And instead of feeling that really sense of defeatedness, I actually started to become a little bit more curious and a little bit more playful. And I started to play around with it and go, what if I just found one more piece? What if I could see something that I hadn't really noticed before? And what happened was I actually started to find pieces. And I noticed that, well, I found that these pieces were just sitting right in front of me all along. And I went on this big roll then of finding, I don't know, maybe about a dozen pieces, one after the other, that really started to build the puzzle for me. But really, the real shift happened that next morning, because the next morning I walked downstairs and I looked at that puzzle again. And this time something felt completely different. And it wasn't because that I had solved it, because I haven't, and there's a long way to go. But it was because I had actually shifted. So my mindset had shifted and my energy had shifted towards it. And I wasn't approaching it with frustration, but I was approaching it with a sense of excitement and a sense of curiosity. And that's when I realized that, you know what, this isn't just about a puzzle. It's about how we approach everything. And
Yeah.
it's this simple shift in thinking from, frustration to curiosity, from I can't to, well, what if I can? What if I can just find one more pace? What if this can be fun? And I found that that was enough to change my energy and my mindset.
Mm.
And this is, I suppose, the beautiful, simple example of the magic of the what if shift in action. And it's a tool that I've been using for a long time in my training with coaches, being a coach myself, but something in that moment was really different.
Mm. It's so beautiful. I love that story so much. Thank you so much for sharing it. It's really beautiful. And something really lovely is we've known each other for a long time, Dee. I think this is year 21, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these concepts are not new, but something really beautiful is I can feel that shift from you. I've
Mm.
witnessed it. I've witnessed it. I can feel it. And it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. And I love it because sometimes it's in the subtle moments can be the
Mm.
biggest, most powerful moments. And something that I really just heard you say then, and I really want to highlight, is often we can convince ourselves without even really being aware of it that things are beyond us.
Yeah.
And it can be simple things. It doesn't have to be the big things. For you, it's solving a puzzle, in this example. It can be, often I'm talking about, oh, I haven't got time for that, or
Mm.
I've got so many things to do. How am I going to fit it all in? And we convince ourselves in the self-talk that things can be beyond us. And the beauty in the what if
Mm.
shift is that it instantly creates possibility. And that's what I love. And, since you
Mm.
shared that story and I've witnessed the shift in you and I've been playing with it a lot, it's actually something you could do as a mantra almost all day long
Mm.
sometimes if you notice what's going on in a dialogue. I've been really practicing it myself and sharing it with my kids, with my husband, with my
Yeah.
family as well. And it's really powerful. Even the other day in the car, one of my children were explaining, something that was going on. And I said, oh, do you want to hear about the what if shift? She's like, oh, yeah,
Mhm.
mum, tell me what's the what if shift? And I shared it with her. And it was really beautiful because instantly she reframed some things that were
Mm.
happening for her. And I could see her energy shift and she was a little bit more excited and you could see that possibility happen. And I guess the beauty of that word, even just the, what if?
Yeah.
What if it could work out for me? What if I am awesome? What if? But it's such a beautiful question that opens up possibility. And the thing that I love the most about it is it creates an energy shift in a heartbeat, just with
Absolutely.
that one sentence and that reframe, it shifts your energy. And when you shift your energy, then that's when new things become available. And that's what we mean by possibility. So thank you so much, Dee, for sharing that gorgeous story because look how it's snowballed from there and the things that we're
Mm.
creating from that. And we've got this beautiful, gorgeous downloadable that people can use to be the foundation of some of the other things that we'll really implement in our programs. But it's such a magical, energetic shift just
Mm.
by that one question.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that came to mind, Jodes, when you were talking about that, is that question, what if? It actually takes pressure off us. Like
Yes,
there's no pressure that's attached to that because it's, well, just what if?
I love that.
And that's kind of, yeah, like there's just no pressure on
Mm,
that.
mm,
It feels lighter and just easier because we're
mm.
just playing, which I think is really beautiful.
I love that too. I love the word play that you've just mentioned. And I agree that it does take the pressure off. And it's very different to often it's a big shift to go from I can't do something to say that I can,
Yes.
or that's not working for me to things always work out for me. Sometimes those I am affirmations, they're wonderful, but sometimes they can be a big leap for
Mm.
someone and the nervous system just goes, well, that's not true. So it will reject it. But what
Yep.
if is that beautiful
Mm.
bridge And
Correct.
absolutely what you just said, without pressure that can go, well, what if though?
Yeah.
What if this could happen? What if
Yeah.
I can do that thing? You know, what if I have got enough time? What if everything is always working out for me? It's such a beautiful,
Mm,
playful question that does exactly that. It creates possibility without any pressure. And it's a little bit of a bridge that then
mm,
you do it often enough, and then subtly you start to shift what's going on inside your nervous system, your programming, all of those kinds of things. And sometimes things might seem like magic that
mm.
they can really happen because just in that beautiful energetic shift, because that's where the possibility lies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
And, it's the same as with swimming. That Scarlett's been swimming and I was taking her and I'm sitting on the edge watching her and I'm thinking, why aren't I swimming? And again, I can't swim, all of these things. And then one morning I went, well, what if I could? And I did. I just started hopping in the water and having some
So
fun. So
cool.
again, it's instead of resisting, I became curious and playful. And instead of
Mm.
feeling stuck in that moment, we're open to see new possibilities. And not only is it something that I'm learning, it's actually a beautiful moment that I'm experiencing with her as
Mm.
well, going to the pools early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think it adds so much power to what's possible. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so much more joy to our world as well.
Mm, that's so gorgeous. Thank you. I love that so much. And do you find it interesting too, when you start to become the observer and you become aware, do you ever notice that, oh, how much of that self-talk is where you
Mm,
discount something before it's even happened, that you can't, or you're not good at that,
mm,
or whatever? I'm really noticing it at the moment.
yes.
And I would have thought that I'm a really positive person, and I think that I am, but I'm really noticing that self-talk that I tell myself that I can't do something or I'm not good at it before
Yeah.
I've even. I just cut it off. Like it's not even a
Yeah.
possibility with that limited self-talk. And the moment you open up that self-talk with the what if, it opens up so much possibility. And then we have an opportunity to tap into that gorgeous, unlimited potential that's available. So, yeah, I love what you're saying too, like just that play and that joyfulness and that lightness. And I can feel it
Yeah.
instantly with that question. I really love it.
Yeah. Completely changes the energy. Yeah. So, in reflection, what if the shift you've been looking for is already within reach? What if success, clarity, ease, playful, curiosity are just one thought away? And this is the power of the what if shift. It opens the doors, as you said, Jodes, to possibility, to creativity, and effortless success.
Hmm.
So, for our listeners, what have we got in store for them, Jodie?
Beautiful. The first thing is I would just encourage you to ponder that question. Just notice it throughout your day when you might decide that you can't do something. Just notice it and try it. Practice it. Or what if? Just practice that beautiful question of what if I can? Or what if I have the money? What if I have the
Yeah,
time? What if I can swim? What if I can incorporate the exercise into my life today or the movement today? What if I can have a really good boogie and have a dance and feel free for a moment? What if I can actually take a breath and sit down and have a cup of tea? Whatever, like just
yeah,
practice, play with that question of what if. And if you want to really explore this concept more, we've got a gorgeous practice that you can play with this. It's called the magic of the what if shift. It's available on our website. We'll also pop the link in the show notes to just really take this concept further and start to really invite and open up the beautiful
mm,
possibilities that become available to you when you can start to create those energetic shifts. And
yeah,
sometimes it's so much closer than you think, and it can start with a simple reframe of what if.
yeah, absolutely. It's that beautiful shift from limitation to possibility.
Yeah.
If you're ready to start using this shift daily, absolutely grab our free The What If Shift Practice Guide
Yeah.
and head to our website or link in the show notes.
Yeah. So thank you, Dee. Thank you for sharing your gorgeous story. And thank you for being here, our beautiful listeners. And go and ponder the magic of what if today could be really, really magical. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. And if you like, send us a DM and let us know your biggest takeaway from today. Thank you.
Lots of love. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope this conversation has inspired you to start to explore, expand, and embrace that extraordinary exists, is possible, and how extraordinary you truly are.
If you loved this conversation, we would be so grateful for you to share it with the people in your world who you think might love to hear it. Please leave a review to help us reach more extraordinary people like you and turn these ripples into waves.
Until next time, remember, you're extraordinary. Dare to embrace it.